Hey everyone, this is Emily Pond and I'm here with Phil McPhail today. And we are at map
Map 2, Lot 23.
map 2, lot 23, Getchell Mountain Road in Carroll, Plantation.
Emily, I'm going to take a look at the land with you today, and we've got, according to the tax records, 170 acres here. It's all wooded land. It's got a nice stream running through it. We'll take a look at that. We got some incredible elevations up here, and you're going to show them this posted beam cabin.
Okay, let's go take a look inside. Okay, so here we are inside the cabin. This cabin is approximately 24 by 40. It is a post and beam cabin. There is one bedroom, one bath, and then a loft, which they have beds in right now, so you could use that as another sleeping area. So the camp is set up, it's got a solar panel outside and a solar converter downstairs. So there is solar here to run some of the electrical components, but they have a propane refrigerator, propane stovetop, propane monitor heater, and then like a propane light out here. So like even if the solar wasn't working, a lot of the components in this camp would still work. It would just run off propane instead. This is the one main bedroom. This is approximately 12 by 14, and it does have a sliding door that goes right out onto the deck, which is a nice feature. You've got two sliding doors, one in the living room, one here in the bedroom, that both lead out onto the deck. And here we are in the bathroom. And this is a large bathroom. This is approximately 10 by 8, maybe even a little bit longer. It might be 12 by 8. We have we've got a full bathroom here. So you've got the shower, the vanity, and a toilet. This camp does have a well and a full septic. So one thing this camp does have that a lot of cabins in the woods don't, it has a full basement, a full walkout basement. And we're going to go down and take a look at that right now. There's a propane monitor heater down here, and the converter system for the solar is down here. So here we are in the basement. There are actually 3 different monitor heaters down here. There's this wall-mounted one and then 2 more of the big ones like the one in the living room. As you can see, there's a full electrical panel here. And we've got the converter system with a battery bank. Not sure if the batteries are still good or not. The seller hasn't actually used this camp in like a couple years. So not sure about the batteries, but the converter system should be fine. It's also got a wall-mounted on-demand hot water heater. So as you're down here and you're looking, the construction on this cabin, it seems really well done. They've got a really impressive metal beam running through here to support everything. Everything down here looks good. I think it was really well done. Another thing I want to say about this basement is it's really dry. I don't see any signs that this has really had any major water issues in it. So this foundation looks like it was really well done. One of my favorite parts of this camp is how open it is. It's got a really nice open feel, you know, and an open layout, and that's just one of the things about this cabin that I really like. So as I mentioned before, there is a drilled well here, and it's right over here in the corner. So we've got the solar panel here for the solar system. Not exactly sure why it's placed the way it is, or if maybe it has at some point spun around on that pole. Maybe the pole has spun, but as of right now, it's facing into these trees, so it needs to kind of face back out, but it is here.
Hey, before I jump on the land with you folks and give you a tour of this property, don't forget, like and share our videos. Hit that subscription button, put on all notifications. You don't want to miss our next video. And for you returning subscribers or our new subscribers, if you haven't signed up for our newsletter, if you're looking for real estate in Maine or want to be kept up to date on what's going on in the real estate market here, make sure you hit this QR code here on the screen. Sign up for our newsletter. We won't bombard you with email. We'll send you 1 letter a month, and you'll get some properties for sale, some solds, and a little bit of information about the market. Okay, so we're on the north side of the Getchell Mountain Road right now, right in front of the cabin, and the cabin's located just off the road here, probably 300 feet. Very private location. We're gonna walk out this driveway and kind of show you how you access the property from Getchell Mountain Road. The north side of the property here, we've got about 50 acres of land. nice square, roughly quarter-mile square lot on this side of the road. We've got a feeder of Barker Brook down here we're going to show you that kind of splits this 50 acres on this side of the road. It sits in the middle of a deep ravine. It's a very scenic spot. Game trails on both sides of it. We've got a real high side and then a more gentle slope on the other side. So right out here is the end of the driveway. We're coming to the Getchell Mountain Road. And folks, this is not a town maintained road. It's a private road. There are a lot of landowners back in this pretty remote part of Penobscot County. And you can see you can drive, you don't need four-wheel drive, but you certainly need some ground clearance. You wouldn't want to drive in here with a low riding sedan. But there's a lot of frontage. We've got 120 acres roughly on this side according to the town, 50 on the north side. We're going to walk down here and show you the brook next. While we're walking to the brook, folks, let me tell you a little bit about the location where we're at here. I know you've seen Getchell Mountain Road on the intro here. We are located in far eastern Penobscot County. The nearest service town to here for gas and convenience stores is going to be about 8 miles out to the small town of Springfield, Maine. Lincoln, Maine is about 27 miles west of us, and that's about a 35 to 42-minute ride, depending on how you drive from here. The city of Bangor, 77 miles away. That's northern Maine's largest city. Boston, if you're coming further, is about 311 miles. And it's just under 5 hours drive from the city to here, assuming you don't get caught up in some crazy traffic in Massachusetts before you cross the Maine border. We've got some really old barbed wire. The tree has completely kind of devoured it. This is why the sawmills x-ray logs, by the way, before they saw them today. You never know, might be a whole spike in it. And for those of you that think I chew snuff, well, I don't. That round circle in my back pocket is a roll of flagging tape. Thank you for the comments. And I keep that handy to mark things like this so people don't accidentally run into it. We're going to continue on and talk a little more about this land. We're now standing along the boundary line, and this is that ravine I may have mentioned at the beginning of the video. There's a small tributary of Barker Brook that runs through this 50-acre side of the property. And we're about, I'd say 40 feet in elevation between here and 70 feet that way down to the bottom of the brook. Probably the video won't do it any justice. And Joe and I, the cameraman, are going to try to figure out how to get down there without breaking our neck. So let's, I'm going to have him shut his camera off. Last time I told him watch where he was stepping, he fell into a big hole. So we'll get to the brook and show it to you. Made it down here to the brook. We've got some caddisflies and some mayflies kicking around. I just saw a really small trout in here. This is not a big creek, folks. We're getting close to the end of May, but it's running right out of the side of a spring up above here. Oh, that feels good. Very cold water. Barker Brook's definitely got some trout in it. This is feeding in. It's like a nursery in here. If you wanted to set a cabin up on top of that ridge line, you listen to this brook run all night. Might be a nice place for a second building or second structure, and it wouldn't take a lot of driveway coming past the camp to get to this location. Right up through there, or I'm going to try to. All right, now that we've checked out the brook, we're going to do a little walk through some of this 50-acre lot here on this side of the road, cross over to Getchell Mountain Road, check out the other side of the road. Now, what I have seen here today, I've walked a lot of this property already, folks, and we've got a nice mix of hardwood and softwood in here. You can see some nice hemlocks, some mature spruce in here in places. We've got beech growing in here as well, some young maples and poplar coming up. A mixture of everything in here. There is a fair amount of decent sized timber. If you were interested in cutting some timber in here, you definitely could do that. And knowing that a lot of this was originally a farm, I don't think it would be, well, you know, it's work, but if you clear the trees here, you'd have a really good start on improving some fields on the location for either your own agricultural use or food plots for game animals. So we're gonna go on the other side of the road now and check that out, and we'll talk about the soils. We're over here on the Barker Brook side of the land now, and it's pretty interesting history up here. There's a lot of old farmland up here in the woods, and I'm standing on a rock wall that we believe follows along the original lot lines of the town. According to the deed, this was part of lots 3 and 4 of the original lotting plan for the town of Carroll plantation. And we found some boundary evidence on both sides of this road here that we believe is probably the line. Now, you probably have heard me say this many times if you've watched our videos. I'm not a surveyor. I can't guarantee you that this is the line. It fits pretty well with what the town is taxing it for on their tax maps, but by all means, if you're concerned about location and boundaries, you're going to want to get a surveyor out here to look at this for you. So we're going to continue on in the woods here, and I want to talk a little bit about the soils. Now we're over here on the other side, south side of the Getchell Mountain Road. And if you could, I don't know if it's showing up, we got that rock wall, the boundary not too far away from us over here. The ground is very smooth, level. Obviously it was farmland at one time, probably pasture up here. According to NRCS soil mapping, about 75% of this lot is either a Herman or a Howell and sandy loam. In some places it's rocky, other places it wasn't. Probably where it was farmed, they took a lot of the rocks out of it. Those are great soils for doing just about anything you want to do, from growing trees, farm, grow potatoes in here, corn, whatever you want to grow. Food plots would do really well, it would be quite easy. Clear this up, put a forestry mulcher in here, get rid of some stumps and lime it, seed it, fertilize it, and watch it grow. You buy this soon enough, you could probably get it done before this year's hunting season. This is just a pleasure to walk through here. You are gonna see some in the video, you can see some blown down balsam fir. That's nothing unusual. This size tree here, you might see it. Balsam fir don't live very long. They are often used in a pinch for dimensional lumber, 2x4s, whatever. But it's not a real dense wood. And you can see this one was rotted in the center. That's why the wind got a hold of it, broke it off, laid it on the ground. It'll feed the soil now. You can pick it up for firewood if you want to, but what a place, what a beautiful place to walk through here. It's almost like a park. Like I said, I don't know how many acres were farmed here, but I think quite a few. Really is a pretty piece of land. As we walk through this land, we're fairly level right here, although we get a little bit of a slope going away from us. The elevations here they change kind of dramatically in places, but overall they start down on one end of the property at about 420 feet of elevation. And up on the other end, on the 50 acres, we get up as high as 620 feet of elevation. So you got some really good high ground here. I did see some bedrock in places up on the high end of the land, but down here I haven't seen any at all. So, you know, soil test you'd want to do if you're going to build another cabin. If you're going to plant, you want to know what the soil is doing before you start spending money. But beautiful piece. All right, we're over here on the south side of the property. We've kind of shown you a little bit of both sides of the road here. Some beautiful trees, nice farmland. Let's talk about what else is around this area here in the town of Carroll. We're real close to the town line with Lakeville plantation. And the town of Lakeville has got, well, it's called Lakeville for a reason. There's a bunch of lakes there. You know, you may have heard of Bottle Lake. A lot of people know about that. Junior Lake, Sysladobsis Lake, Upper Sysladobsis Lake, Lombard Lake, Spalding Pond, Duck Lake. Oh, I probably missed a couple. I'm pretty sure I have. Scraggly Lake connects into Junior. I think most of Scraggly's in an unorganized township, but it's close. So you kind of get the idea. You pull out down on Bottle Lake Road, drive your boat trailer down the road a couple miles, put into Bottle Lake and access all of the Grand Lake chain of lakes. You can literally take your boat down Bottle Lake Stream all the way to West Grand Lake. And that's home to Grand Lake Stream. For those who like fly fishing for trout and salmon, one of Maine's more famous bodies of water down there. New Brunswick, Canada. We're 44 miles from the border crossing in Vanceboro. Another 45 minutes to an hour after that, you can be in a pretty large city of Fredericton. So you got the Miramichi River over there, is just a few hours away. Lots to do. And if you like recreating on trails, Springfield, Carroll, Lakeville, this whole area, there's a tri-county quad group ATV and snowmobile club in Springfield, and those guys do a beautiful job maintaining hundreds of miles of trails that interconnect with other systems that you can access almost the entire state of Maine on the snowmobile trail and some of the ATV trail systems in this area.
The price on this property is $250,000. The yearly taxes are $1,187. And just to recap, this cabin is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath with a loft that you can also use as another bedroom area. It is a 24 by 40 post and beam camp.
And the land here, we'll recap that for you real quick, 170 plus or minus acres. We got elevations running here with an elevation change of over 200 feet. It's a really interesting piece of land. Got some nice timber on it, excellent sandy, loamy soil, some old farmland, stone walls, and a brook running through the property.
If you like this video and you'd like to see more, please hit like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you for joining us today here at Map 2, Lot 23, Getchell Mountain Road in Carroll. If you'd like more information on this property, please give me a call at 207-794-6164.